It's Gujarat playing Delhi, so it's the table toppers playing the table toppers, depend on which side of the table you approach it from, just like I used to top my class. This is the game that you could get complacent thinking, oh, it's Delhi, they haven't won anything, they're a bit of a shambles.
Yeah.
Let's see if we take our foot off the gas tomorrow. It's
And
human.
You can't take your foot off the gas against these guys. I mean, we had a player of the match performance in the last game from Mitch Marsh on the losing side.
Yeah.
And you get 4 wickets and 60 odd runs.
63.
Been a few of those this year, which is
3 of the last 4 games.
Yeah.
Where the match was in the losing
Conway, Jaiswal.
and Marsh and
Marsh.
and Shikhar Dhawan before that.
Yeah.
Shikhar Dhawan before that. Yeah. Did Venki Iyer get it as well in that match?
No, I think someone else scored a lot of runs.
No. Yeah. So you can't take your foot off the throat with Delhi. They are a good, they're a good enough side to beat you.
Fair enough. Here's the thing though, right? When you say player of the match, when
excited.
one guy, because one guy doing it and ending up on the losing side, this is the business model that Gujarat just does not have. Because they have a different player of the match every game. They've got 5 out of 6 already. And somehow everybody decides that I'm kind of the centre forward and everybody else is kind of feeding the ball through me, right?
And it's not always the guys you think either.
Yeah.
It's not always the big standout players. You know, Josh Little last game, Noor Ahmed's been good for them. It's not always the big name players that you think are going to stand up and take those awards.
So no Hardik Pandya, no Shubman Gill amongst the player of the match, no Mohammad Shami. So which means that it's the other.
And those are 3 pillars.
Yeah.
Those 3 with David Miller, Rashid Khan, those are the pillars.
Even David Miller hasn't, sorry.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward in this game to see how Rashid Khan bowls because he doesn't go 4 overs 54 too often. It's happened 3 or 4 times this year, which never happened before. But Rashid Khan doesn't go 4 overs 54, so I'm sure it's hurting inside. But let's put up that squad again and let's see who all have sort of produced key performances. Sai Sudarshan has got a player of the match. He's not making the side.
Yeah, because
Abhinav Manohar.
He made the side that time, I think, because.
Yeah, he made the side. He got a player of the match.
Yeah, correct.
Abhinav Manohar, 42 of 20 in the last game. So he's pulled his weight. Vijay Shankar, how good has been the last couple of games. So Vijay Shankar has pulled his weight. Rahul Tewatia is built into his contract that he cannot have double-digit deliveries to face. So he got 5 in the last game and he made 20.
Yeah.
So you see, Mohit Sharma comes out of being a net bowler, gets 2 player of the match.
Yeah.
Joshua Little comes in. So you see, everybody is doing it. If there's one team I want to be a fly on the wall, just to understand in the change room, to understand what the conversations are, what the mood is, it would be Gujarat Titans.
Yeah.
They always seem very calm and very. They enjoy their cricket, and I think that's the one thing. So when they've had a loss or two, that the next game is always the performance I look at because how do they bounce back from those situations where they find themselves a little bit down or a loss, and they've done that very, very well.
Yeah.
They've bounced back beautifully. So they've got a lot of bases covered. They really have, and Rashid has not been at his best.
Yeah.
He's got wickets this year, but he has not been as economical. And they've taken to the likes of him. They've taken to Narayan. They've taken to Chakravarti. They've taken to some spinners this year who have generally been okay.
That's the thing, right? Let's come back to the Delhi team talking about being a fly on the wall in the dressing room. Well, you wouldn't mind being a fly on the wall in this dressing room as well.
Oh, look, there's some very, very big egos.
Okay. I was going with characters.
Characters.
Your word has more velocity.
Characters in that changing room. And, when they're having the season they're having, it's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough for them. And you've got guys sort of pulling in one direction, maybe guys pulling in another direction. Are they all going down the same path? Each ownership group seems to have a representative in one form. You've got, Ajit there, and then you've got James Hopes here. Watson and Ponting and Ganguly. And it seems to be...
Dooley, the other day, I was working on DC versus SRH, and we were just looking at who's in the dugout. Ponting, Watson, Ganguly, Agarkar, Lara, Murali, Stein.
Yeah.
They're all sitting in the dugout, and their teams are 9 and 10.
Yeah. And we've talked about Brian on this show. I talked about Brian as well. And but you're so right. Hey, look, this is not an easy gig. This coaching in this competition is not an easy gig. And every team has quality players. But you've got to find the right way to get the best out of those quality players. And that is not always easy to do. And I think the teams that generally do well have a fairly simple structure and a fairly simple coaching philosophy and a fairly quiet, simple changing room, dressing room. I think the ones that get a bit muddled and a bit noisy and, you know, guys pulling in different directions, I think they're the ones that generally struggle. And you need coaching experience.
GTCSK, you're talking GTCSK?
Yeah.
GTCSK. And at times, you know, when Mumbai were at their best, their coaching structure was pretty simple. I think it's overcomplicated a little bit now, and you know they've gone through. You mentioned football. Great teams go through a cycle where they drop off after a little while because you can't always be that good.
True.
And they're just starting to. I think they're starting to build, and in the next couple of years, I think they'll be back to.
Yeah, but by then there'll be an auction.
Yeah. But they're building a core. They're building a core again, I think, of players that are going to be okay for them. You can't always be at the top.
Yeah, you have to reward franchises that do that.
I mean,
but by the time this core starts to come together, there's an auction and everyone's gone again.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's a point.
Let's stop.
He's trying to bring us back.
I'm like, all right.
Sorry.
Because I have a problem with it. We all have a problem with that auction and everybody changing. But with Delhi, what they're doing is with their 11 itself, and this is what you notice, right? When you start losing, you know, in a row, Harsha is what I like to call hashtag Hapda Dabdi, right? There's just players coming in and out. There's, you know, there is no Prithvi Shaw, by the way, now. He's not even, last time he wasn't even listed in the impact players.
There's only 2 players in there. Did Lungi get, I don't think Lungi's got a game, but he came in late. Yeah. In that huge list, there's only 3 players who've not got a game. Yeah. But Praveen Dubey's not got a game, Vicky Ostwal's not got a game, and I don't think Lungi Ngiri's got a game. Everybody else, Sakaria's played. Everybody's got a game.
Wow, how many is that then? Go on, please, quickly count them up. 3, 7, 8, 9.
25 in total, right?
So 23 have got, 22 have got a game.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think some such. And the ones, there's a few there which I especially don't
23
looking.
got a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few when you're looking there, you're like, why is Yash Dhul not playing? Abhishek Poral has showed some character in the little few balls that he's hit. Robin Powell. I'm not understanding why Robin Powell is.
Because you looked at their numbers halfway through, between them, Salt, Marsh, Powell, and Russo. Between them, they were all scoring single digits runs.
Yeah.
And so now you've got to change something. So Salt comes in, Powell goes out, Russo goes out, Salt is a keeper, so Porel goes out.
Yeah.
Then you try Lalit Yadav. Oh, okay, it's not working with Lalit Yadav. Let's try Ripal Patel. Maybe he'll go and swing at the end. Let's try everybody. Let's put Akshar Patel down.
Priyam Garg now.
Priyam Garg comes in now as a replacement. And in all this, Akshar Patel goes down the order.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know why he's making space for everybody.
No, he's a gun. I mean, I've said it so many times.
Underutilized.
He's an absolute gun. I mean, just give him that number 5 spot or number 6 spot, whichever one it is. I don't mind either, but just give it to him and let him be. And he can bowl with a new ball, bowl through the middle if he wants, or anything. He's a gun in the field. He is a franchise player.
Yeah.
You know, you got him. I mean, in him and Mitch Marsh, in all theory, you got 2 of the better all-rounders in world cricket.
Yeah.
Potentially batting in the top 6. Can you imagine? You've got 6-7 overs in the top 6.
Gold.
I mean, I'm pleased to see Phil Salt get some runs. I bigged him up on the game, and then he went out and got a golden duck. I was doing the show, and I think it was Anubhav asked me about Phil Salt. I said, "Oh, look, he's a really good player." Before I'd finished my talk, he was out.
Like what happened to him today. He said today, really, Marcus Stoinis has got to hold this innings. Before he could get together, he was out.
He was out.
Yeah.
So it's chopping and changing. It's
much.
It's been a nightmare for them. And we just went through it. I can't believe that. 22 players at this stage. Halfway through the season, they've used 22 players.
I'll tell you,
wow.
My last point on DC. Ricky Ponting played in a very stable, powerful Australian side.
Yeah.
Sourav Ganguly was the kind of player who'd tell a Yuvraj, a Sehwag, a Harbhajan, I'm giving you 8 games. I don't care if you fail in 6, you win me 2, but I'm giving you 8 games. Those are the 2 people standing up there, and there's changes in every inning. I'd love to know. Not fly on the wall, but I'd just love to ask them, what's with all the changes?